Yo, it's your boy, Boss Cowboy. And today, we promised we was gonna be going through that exit interview, and we still continuing that. And it's gonna be very interesting today because I got some film, I got some prospects. We go freestyle. We go talk about it. Yeah, because corner, especially going into the playoffs, was a major concern. It was almost to the point of panic. I ain't forgot that. And so we go address that today. We go talk about that today. We go talk about the cornerback room. We go do the exit interview on it. We go look at everything about it. We go look at the free agents. We go look at some sleepers. We go look at our own guys. We go really measure the Koolaid on this room. And then we go start preparing even more for the offseason. So I'm excited, obviously, for this show because cornerback was the position that I played in college. It's something that I feel like I know pretty well. So it should be pretty interesting, man. So y'all just kind of sit back, relax, because we gonna get into this show. We gonna break it down. The exit interview cornerback series, and we're gonna be doing a bunch of these. We're gonna be breaking down position by position, looking at the whole state of it. So y'all just hang out, man. I'll be right back. Let me get this Millennial Falcon going. Say you want Ramsey? I do. We gonna talk about Ramsey today too. I want Ramsey. Yes, I do want Ramsey. Are we gonna get Ramsey? Nah, we ain't gonna get Ramsey. But do I want Ramsey? Yeah, absolutely. Day Walker. Man, I would sleep good. Would Ramsey be our top option to fix us and prepare us for 2023? I say no. But I would be definitely okay with Ramsey. All right, so welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Thank y'all for always coming in. We in the off-season mode, so a lot of times it's we gonna be talking about a lot of the positions and just kind of breaking it down. And we call that at the exit interview because we was exited early out the playoffs, and every smart company does this. Like when people leave, you always sit down and figure out why are they leaving. It's called an exit interview, and it gives you a chance to do self-reflection. Thank you, Deron. It gives you a chance to do self-reflection, and then you can kind of make some changes based on what you heard from people that was leaving in the exit interview. So that's what we're doing with cornerback. So before I get into the Cowboys, the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of cover some guys that I consider sleepers. And Keystone, I see you in the building, bro. We just got to work out the details on the sleeper files, and we go get that back going for this off season. So I'll be calling you tomorrow. Let's just hook up and figure that out on how to implement what we've been talking about behind the scenes. I finally saw your Twitter because I thought it was pictures, but I saw it was video. So we'll talk about that and we'll figure it out. But in this series, the main thing that I want to start with was a couple of sleepers, because obviously most people, when they start looking at these prospects, they go start with most scouts and most analysts have at the top of their board. But then I want to kind of start in the middle, at where I feel like I have some potential quality sleepers. One of my top guys is Eli Ricks. All right, so going right into Eli Ricks's film, and then we go talk about his background. I'm certain that he is a quality sleeper potential for the Dallas Cowboys. I would even liken him to Eddie Jackson, because Eddie Jackson was a sleeper. Because when Eddie Jackson was a senior, I don't know if y'all remember this, he had ACL surgery. All right, but his junior year he was rocking. He was the captain of the Alabama defense. He was a punt returner, Eddie Jackson. You know, everybody know who Eddie Jackson is now. But, you know, he was just rocking. But when he had that ACL injury, obviously that hurt his draft stock. And, you know, but if anybody had foresight, they would have still picked him up early because he had clear first round talent. Eddie Jackson, it was clear. But people was kind of slow on ACLs even 3 or 4 years ago, to where most people didn't even want to kind of take a chance. And so he ended up being a steal for Chicago Bears. But he's somebody that when I talk about Eli, I liken him to the skill set of an Eddie Jackson, right? So then if we turn on the tape and we just kind of look at him, one of the things I would say that he's probably, and that's him at the top left, okay? I would say that he's one of the better corner, especially press corners, in this entire draft class. He is on some lockdown stuff. And I love to watch him because he is super sticky and he leaves no separation. None. You know, I mean, like, and I've been watching him since he was at LSU. So we go talk about how he ended up being at LSU and going to Alabama, because his background is important. But as you break down the film, there's no way you'll be able to watch his film. And I like sitting in Brown too, see. But there's no way to watch his film and you'll be wondering, like, why is everybody not talking about him? You know, because you can't watch him from LSU and you can't watch him from Alabama and not see it. You just can't. It just is, when you turn on the tape, it's just obvious that he's super sticky, and he is perfectly a Dan Quinn-ish, Al Harris type of corner. 6'2", very sticky, but he has the better hips out of everybody, and he's also super competitive. Like, he's a in-your-face type of guy. He's a guy that's going to challenge the receivers. He's passionate all games. And I would also say this, and I mean this, I'm not scared to say this. His tape looked better than Diggs when Diggs was in college. Because if anybody remember Diggs was a guy that played a lot of trail technique. But look at him. Like, he is sticky, man. He leaves no room at all. Let me pause it real quick. We got us a fat super chat. Let me take this super chat real quick. Hold on real quick. Let me. Okay, hold on. I gotta set it up. Hold on. I thought I had it set up right. Give me 1 second. Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, there it is. So on this super chat, Matt said, "Hey, how are you doing tonight, Boss Cowboy? What's up? What's up, Cowboy Nation? I love the show, guys. Man, I appreciate it. Man, we doing good, man. We just sitting back, man, talking about cornerback. So we talking about my first sleeper prospect, Eli. So Eli, you know, whatever tape you put on, whether you look at him from LSU, you look at him at Alabama, wherever you look at him, you gonna see tight, very tight, perfect, almost perfect coverage. Like, cause y'all heard me say all the time, I like to see cornerbacks play on that upfield shoulder. So on the upfield shoulder, that's when you playing slightly ahead of the receiver. And you can see he plays like that constantly. The only bad part about that is that sometimes you give up the back shoulder, you know, when you playing upfield. But you also asking quarterbacks to be super accurate. You know what I mean? And I would rather quarterback have to be extremely accurate with the football than to give up my upfield, right? So I want to be able to be on top of him to where he can't stack me as a cornerback. And I already explained what stacking is where a receiver gets in front of you. And if a receiver gets in front of you, it's over, because the only way you can make a play on the ball is you got to go through them, and that's usually where your pass interferences come from. But if you look at him, you see him constantly on that upfield shoulder, and I love it. And he just consistent, you know. So this is another angle of it, and I'm gonna show y'all as we get into the state of the corners. But I first want to start with a couple of guys that I'm looking at right now, sleepers, because I got a long list of corners, but I want to start with these guys. But you can see him making a very strong play even on a back shoulder throw. So he making a back shoulder throw, he gets his hand in there, knocks the ball out. You know what I mean? So you say, man, hold on, boss. Why ain't nobody else talking about this guy? So is he all that? Why ain't about? Well, people actually know about him. You just got to kind of look around. So when you look around and do a little bit of research, hold on, we got us a super chat. Yeah, and we go through. Listen, we go through a lot of these corners. I'm only going through a few today. This is not cornerback day. This is not draft day, I would say. This is more so kind of like the Dallas Cowboys exit interview, where we just kind of taking a look at a couple of them. But he said, boss, I like Koolaid. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I like him too, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna be going through a lot of these corners, breaking them down, showing the film on these guys. But I just want to kind of show y'all a little bit of his background. So if you kind of look around and you start doing research on some of these guys, Alabama cornerback Eli Ricks. Let me make this bigger. Give me 1 second. Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Say Alabama cornerback Eli Ricks begins the 2023 NFL draft cycle as one of the top players at his position, and his scouting report details even greater upside. See, that's the key right now. Upside. That's the key to him, and that's why I'm liking to talk about this guy. Now, this is not Ringo, and he asking, is this Ringo? This is not Ringo, and I actually like this cornerback better than Ringo. When I really broke down Ringo, Eli is a better cornerback than Ringo, but the problem is Eli has some questions. All right, we gonna get into that. And the questions to me are no big deal questions. It's just no. So Ringo, he making some noise, but Ringo, when I turn on the film, he ain't rocking like my boy Eli. That's just from my eyes. Just from me breaking down both of those guys. The problem with Eli is he didn't play a lot of games, and we gonna talk about that. But the key part, hold on, let me make sure I show you a super chat, because you did ask. This is Matt again with a super chat. Yeah. So no, it wasn't Eli. But going back to what I was saying, getting into you know, It's the upside. And then he said, but as is often the case with highly touted recruits, some prospects can be over glamorized in the early months. Rick is fantastic talent with high level upside, but he still has work to do to reach his ceiling, right? So, and then this is the good part, and that we go break down even more, and we go kind of get into his background. So, Rick has been a constant subject of football royalty at both the high school and collegiate levels. In high school, he transferred from one Titan to another, which made the senior switch from Mater D to IMG Academy. And see, that's one of the things that I like about him a lot, is he has a lot of faith in his abilities, because he did this in high school and he also did this in college, where he went from a powerhouse where they call LSU DBU, right? But then he transferred and went into the portal to go to Bama. And he was already rocking at LSU, and it was clear. So this is a guy that has a lot of moxie and a lot of belief in himself. He believes that he can play anywhere. So when you transfer from LSU to Bama, you really trying to say you think you the man. So I'm looking at a lot of things that gives me confidence that he's a guy that has a lot of confidence. That's why he's one of my particular top sleepers. Like, and we go talk about a couple of other ones, or maybe one before we get into the Dallas Cowboys. But I want to kind of whet y'all appetite just a little bit with some candidates that you can start researching. That's gonna be outside the main candidates, right? Because a lot of people gonna be always talking about the main candidates, the main draft people. But what about the real true quality sleepers that if you do some real good research, you really getting first round talent, but you can get them in the second and third round? You know what I'm saying? Really, this guy would be an absolute steal if you got him in the third round. I would even target him around round 2. I think he that good, but that's me. But going back to this, he was and signed with the defending national champions LSU. So when he signed with LSU, they was national champs. So in his mind, he was going to where the best is. So think about that. See, he's the type of guy that want to play with the best, and he want to compete with the best. He ain't shying away from competition. And see, at LSU, Rick was an immediate star. Oh, who am I taking in the first? Okay, Life want to know who I'm taking in the first. So right now, it's almost impossible to say who the Dallas Cowboys should take in the first, if I'm being all the way honest with you. And nobody can say who Dallas is going to likely take in the first. What we all should do, and I'm being all the way honest with you, I know we're in the off season and I know we're in draft mode, but if I'm being all the way honest, it's very premature to start talking about who Dallas is going to get in the first. We always should get through free agency before we even start having serious conversations about that. I would say if the draft started tomorrow, it would be a receiver. It would be a receiver. Yeah. It would be one of the top receivers that would be left. You know, that's who Dallas would get. And I could tell you, I'm almost certain that's still what they likely getting ready to do. I'm almost certain that they go receiver first. And it's pretty obvious why they would go receiver first too. It's obvious because you hear CeeDee Lamb talking about we need weapons. It's also the fact that we are going into a West Coast system, and when you look at Mike McCarthy has never had a team without multiple weapons. You know, and I'm seeing O-line, where on the O-line and who. And that also depends on what we do in free agency. So if we resign or if Tyron Smith come back, we ain't going likely tackle in the first round. We not, because we go look at it like we got Tyron Smith who go hold it down until T. Smith come back. I mean, to still come back. We not doing that. I'm certain we not doing that. You know. So yeah. So no, we not doing that. Then we got Matt Lewesko, and so if we got Matt Lewesko and Ball, we got 2 tackles, one going into year 3, one going into year 2. Why would we do that? We not doing that. And then you got Tyler Smith, who just played a lot of tackle and guard. So, but then it also depends on, and then you say boss center or left guard. Okay, so we going with center. You really think we going with center? And Tyler Biadasz just made the Pro Bowl? Do you think that's what we doing? We ain't doing that, bro. So it really.
Let me interject.
Say what?
Let me interject on that. Here's the deal, man. You know, you do got a BPA situation. If you have an elite guard center there, you may do it because you do have Connor McGovern, right? And he is an unrestricted free agent.
Well.
And so you're dealing with that aspect in terms of potential depth. Now, if you love Matt Fairnook, then you may leave that alone. And Matt Fairnook, I think, is a guy that definitely could play guard or center. However,
right.
he struggled at times, but I think that year 3, you know, depending on where he is, he should be pretty good. Now, I also want to get on here, and I ain't gonna stay the whole time, is talk to you about Eli Ricks. That's actually my cousin. That's family.
What?
So, yeah, that's my cousin. That's what I've been telling you about. That's what
that boy nice, OC. OC, right now, bro, I got him as my top sleeper out of all corners. Yep.
Yeah, he probably should be in your top 3. To be honest,
I already got him there. Yeah.
Yeah. I got it is insight. So that's Mrs. OC nephew.
What?
Yeah. He come down, we hang, all that stuff. Yeah, he trained with, you know.
He cold, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's family. He's super nice, and you know.
Did you hear what I was saying about the pedigree of the type of dude who like to go to where the best is? So he went to LSU when LSU was the national champions. Then he got out of LSU when he was already the top dog at LSU to go to Bama.
Yeah, no, he's a competitive dude. He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a pure dog. And he's 6'4". He's tall. I think he's taller than me now. He's about 6'4.5", 6'5".
They say he's 6'2", but he looked taller than that.
No, man. No, he's 6'3", 6'4.5". He's somewhere up in that range. He's taller than 6'2". I stood next to him.
I'm gonna say another reason why I know we ain't going offensive line in the first, because in this particular draft, this is a good draft for a lot of combo or hybrid guys. It's a deep draft for tackle / guards. So we not gonna attack what's deep. That's not what Will McClay does. He's gonna attack what's lean, and what's lean is receiver. So he go get that out the way. I'm almost certain that's what he go do. We missing a lot of super chats, bro. They rolling.
No, go ahead, man. Catch up.
So then, let me catch back up. So, Life's Crazy said, "Boss, Tyler the center's the weak link." I don't see that, bro. I'm sorry. I don't see that. I don't see him as a weak link.
He's the weak link, dog. I mean, no offense, but no. If you look at him, man, he's a guy that gave up maybe 1 sack all year, if that, and a guy that gave up less than 10 pressures on his dime. Now, if you're talking about you want a road grader and you want a guy to just overpower and break the backs of people, those are unique guys, man. You don't get that a lot because you got dudes like Jonathan Hankins. You got dudes that you got to play against, man, like Vita Vea. You got dudes you got to play against, man, that, you know, are just Hargrove, Chris Johnson. I mean, Chris Jones, excuse me. You got elite dudes, man. So it's very hard for you to take dudes that big and explosive and flip them on their backs, right? But your center is a guy that is a good directional play caller from the offensive line perspective. In other words, he sets the protections, he makes the calls. He's a guy that helps a lot on double teams. He's a guy also that you can use to get up on the second level and basically hold his ground at the point of attack on the NFL level. So you're not going to see a bunch of centers just running over these defensive tackles on the NFL level. So don't expect that. Like, the people have unrealistic expectations sometimes. Now, what he does give you is an element of athleticism that's underrated, because he's led a lot of those tall sweeps around the edge. He's pulled from the center position and got around the tight end to be a lead blocker. So he gives you an element of athleticism in the screen game and also in the outside run game that a lot of centers can't run out there and make those blocks. And with Tyler Biadasz, you got that. So he, I'm not saying he's God's gift, man, but he's a good center, man. He's a solid center. And unless you just really need to, you don't replace him. You grow with him.
You definitely grow with him. Like we not getting rid of him. We not getting the first round. We're not getting a first round center to replace a Pro Bowler. It's not happening, bro. I'm just keeping it real with you.
And I see your life's credit. He said he want another Travis. Yeah, Travis Frederick is a once in a lifetime player. He's a once in every 15-year player.
Yeah.
Right. Travis Frederick is a once in every 15-year player. You're not gonna get Travis Frederick that often. I'm sorry.
Nah.
You're not.
Nah.
You're not.
No.
You're just not.
Nah.
It is weird.
I wanted Halle Berry. But,
well, you don't got a lot of Halle Berrys walking around.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's tough.
It's
It's
hard.
tough. Yeah, I wanted Halle Berry back in the day, bro, but you got to be realistic. And then the ninja say, what do y'all think about Mafa from UCLA? So that's my whole point, is you got people like him, right? Left guards, and that's going to be deep. This is the area. This is the positions from my research that I think are very deep. I think running back is extremely deep.
Mm-hmm.
Cornerback is not bad. Left guard and guards and tackles deep this year. Now, it's not a bunch of first round tackles, but it's a lot of second, third, and fourth round tackle / guards. So whatever is deep, I don't see us targeting first. I just don't see it. I just don't.
Right.
So going back to corner, because we're doing this series on corner. Oh, did I miss any of the super chats? Let me make sure I didn't. I did. I missed one more. So let me get this caught up. He said, that's cool. He's a beast. God bless you, boss, and the OC. God bless you too, Madden. Appreciate all the super chats, big dog. All right, but man, that's crazy. This your kinfolk, bro. That is crazy.
That's my kin. He's a dog. Went to the Matter Day, dominated there. Went to IMG in Florida, dominated there. People move from across the country. It's when people don't understand about IMG. People move from all over the country to go to IMG. It's a super team. It's a super team every single year because people move, they relocate. And so Matter Day in California was the same thing. Like the best players in California, and sometimes players from around the country too, they will move to Matter Day in California to play because that's a top program in the country. They will actually move. The same thing with IMG. And he stood out and was dominant there. So he likes to play the ball, man. And I can tell you, I can break down strengths and weaknesses and all that stuff. But what I like about him is that I think that, man, he's an aggressive corner. And here's the deal. He's a guy that can play safety or corner. That's what people don't know. Because when he was at IMG and in some of these all-star games, they put him at safety, and he was coming downhill, knocking the boo-boo out of people, knocking the boo-boo out of people.
I see that in him.
So
he's
a physical dude. It's some technical things that he does need to work on, in my opinion. And I'm being honest, and that's my kinfolk. And I actually got a chance to mention that to him when we spoke. But in terms of, man, his ability to make plays on the ball, he's a guy that attacks the football. If the ball's in the air, he's trying to attack the ball. If you float a pass, he's going to pick it. He's a willing tackler. He did have some issues with his shoulder, and that's the thing that held him out at the beginning part of this year. It's just some stuff with his shoulder, and it was just some work habit stuff that he needed to clean up coming from LSU. Because he was a star at LSU, man, and when
he was a star.
When the coach got fired, man, then that's one of the things that prompted the transfer. But at the same time, when you deal with Nick Saban, Nick Saban
That's amazing, bro, because you digging into all the research that I've done. I've already done this research. I was going to talk about that, OC.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, bro. I was like, why OC coming in on corner? but
Mm-hmm.
but thank you for coming in the show, big dog.
We're versatile here, man. We're versatile, baby. I'm versatile, baby.
I see you. I see you, OC. Y'all clap it up for OC, man. Y'all clap it up, man.
Versatile, baby.
I see you, OC. I'm impressed with you, man, breaking down corner. And bro, cause it's funny that, and listen, we not doing it. This is not no front. This, like I just told him, I said, I'm gonna highlight some corners today and I'm gonna talk about all of the corners. I'm gonna do an exit interview series. I didn't even think you was gonna come in today. So man, what you talking about is, okay, let me get back into some of this stuff though, because I want to get into his background. And the good thing, because you know him, you could be able to confirm all this. So what I was saying even before you got in here is that his background showed me that he was a competitive guy. Because I was talking about how he went from modern day to IMG Academy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he did that same thing going from LSU to Bama. To me, that says he want a ring, he want championships, and he feel like he can compete with the best. Now, what I was going to show people that some people don't know about this guy, because I saw Life Crazy say top 5 OC, and I'm like, yes, top 5. Yes. Top 5. That's why and that's why I compared him to Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, and he's a guy, man, in my opinion. And I'm sharing, because I love y'all so much, man. Y'all like family. See, I'm sharing y'all inside stuff that really, some of the stuff I might not even shouldn't say, but I'm gonna share. Don't say it.
Don't say it. Don't take no risk, dog.
No. I'm not gonna say anything risky. I got that. I'm saying I'm giving you inside scoop that hey, that you ain't gonna get on no other channel. That's what I'm telling you.
Right.
And in this situation, it just was a situation, like I said, in my opinion, from what I'm able to share, it was a different environment and things of that nature. You got to acclimate to coaches and stuff like that. But the talent is there. The talent is absolutely there. And I think, the key for him is going to be to just work out well. If he works out well, you're going to see him skyrocket. If he works out well, when he runs below that 4.5, and looks good in drills and all that stuff, he's going to skyrocket. So I'm just going to tell you that.
I don't think he goes skyrocket, OC. I don't. I think now, athletically upside, yes. But
I think he goes shoot up, though.
Let's talk about a couple of things that might change what you're saying, all right?
Come on.
So and I'm just being real, bro. So So he got in a little bit of trouble.
He did?
So, but this is the deal. The stuff he got in trouble for ain't no big deal no more. Ain't nobody care about no marijuana no more, bro. That's why they took it out the CBA. Ain't nobody care about that no more.
And I'm going to get some insight about that, because this is going to help my kinfolk. That was not his.
Oh, he don't smoke?
No, listen. Okay. I ain't gonna even get into details about it. I'll tell you offline. I'll tell you offline. Look, listen, man. It's been a lot of players. There's been a lot of players, unfortunately, that's been called or not called that have used marijuana. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a part of sports culture. It's a part, let me say, it's a part of the culture of the world, okay? Not just sports. So I don't know why people are proselyted, and that's not that we I see you like crazy, man, you tripping. No, I'm really not tripping on that. But I can't get into all that. But here's the deal. That has nothing to do with his talent, with his ability, and with everything that he brings to the table. And, man, it's just, he's special, he's exceptional. And he's going to have to answer some hard questions. Every potential top prospect does, boss. And I believe that he's going to be able to overcome that. And with some strong workouts, man, you're going to see his stock is going to go up. So I'm standing flat-footed on that. Just watch.
Yeah.
I know all that.
Yeah. It's also a couple of, the thing that I like, bro, is everything that you said match the research that I did. You talked about him getting out of LSU after the firing of Ed. You know what I'm saying? So like everything, so because I like to look into why did they transferred and all that kind of stuff. Because this dude wanted to be amongst contenders, bro. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now a lot of y'all could tell y'all thinking it's a draft show. This is actually not a draft show today. We're not gonna be going through every corner, every potential corner. This is not a top 5 list. I'm just showing a few sleepers today, and we gonna save that for the draft show tomorrow. So we gonna have a draft show tomorrow. Y'all gonna be able to bring up every receiver in the world that you want to. My boy said I'll be sick if we don't end up Najoba don't end up. You gonna be sick already, dog? God, dog. It's too early in the process to be in love with any one of these guys. Be honest, it's too early. Let's wait till they 40s come in. Let's wait till they pro days are done, and then, because I think we like they film, but we need to get all their measurements before we fully marry them. In my opinion, you know what I mean? Don't fall in love too quick, in my opinion. But I don't want to get too deep on him because I already did enough. I'm gonna just kind of show my second sleeper, talk about him a little bit, and then we go get into the Cowboys. All right. So Cam Smith is my other sleeper that I'm not gonna say it was love at first sight. It was like a lot in first sight, like a whole lot. Like we got us another super chat. He said, "You're welcome. I love the show and you the best." Man, I appreciate that, Matt. So now when you watch him and we turn on the film on him, the thing that I don't have his film in here. Well, let me just talk about him. The thing that he does well is he's a fantastic coverage guy. What'll piss you off about him is his tackling. And Coach Marv, you can tell me, Coach Marv from South Carolina, he follows South Carolina. He also left a super chat. He'll probably confirm what I just said. I love this dude. And he say if he can play safety, because safeties we need speed. Yeah, and we gonna talk about that too when we get into safety, coach. And that this dude look like he can play safety, the other corner. But remember, this is not a draft day. Maybe I ain't gonna start it like this no more because it looked like y'all ready to get into draft mode.
Yes,
I'm just teasing y'all with a couple of people that's kind of, I'm highlighting just a little bit. Oh, I do have his film up. So here's his film, and one of the things you notice about him that I love is his mirror technique. So he mirrors better than almost any corner in his class. He stays on the upfield shoulder very well. He does a good job at that. The thing that I don't like about him, if I kind of go to him, is his tackling. So that tackling sometimes just is very aggravating. And I'm pretty sure the Dallas Cowboy fans are sick of corners who don't tackle well. So that's going to hurt him because he don't tackle well. Just keep it.
Let me stop you, Boss Cowboy. You got JR with the $4.99 super chat. Not sure if you got mother super chat, but we are gonna need physicality in the secondary if we let Wilson walk. Anybody feel that role? Question mark. I didn't see it, JR, but we'll answer the super chat. Yeah, and that's why we'll be looking at some of these players. To your point, JR, because some of these guys, in my opinion, I know it definitely Eli Ricks can play a corner or a safety. Now he's gonna be a premium corner in the league, but
hold on, real
he's
quick.
good.
JR, did you leave a super chat, bro?
Yeah, he said if you get the double.
Because some cats be saying they left super chat just because they want us to answer their question without actually leaving no super chat. Like, for real, I don't see no super chat, JR.
No, boss. Hold on, boss. He did. So this first super chat was, given the history of Mike McCarthy and low production this season, do you think the Cowboys are gonna make a play for Lazard?
Oh, okay. I missed that, big dog. Okay, it's all good. My bad.
Yep. So I'll let you answer that, boss. Go ahead.
I mean, Lazard, I could definitely see us making a play for Lazard. But I also can see us saying no to Lazard as well. You know what I mean? Like, I think what we're really going to do is we're going to likely go after the guys that we've already been in talks with. So somebody like a Brandon Cook. To me, that's been fitting how we have been doing our business in free agency. That matches our pattern. So I would bet that we go first knock on a Brandon Cook's door, but we more so trying to build weapons, in my opinion, around Mike McCarthy's West Coast. And I'm not worried about an ability to get weapons in here. I'm not Will McClay. I'm not worried about that. All you got to do is send him to the task, and he gets it done.
And Matt Batten with the $5 super chat. Yes, he was asking about Lazard from the Packers if we should go get him. Yeah, boss is answering that question right now. Thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that. So yeah, but it's I looked at the free agency receivers. It's some like the OC like DJ Metcalf.
Yes, I do.
I didn't see him on the free agent list, but you like him a lot. I like DJ Chark.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cook. I take Cook. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Hopkins. But yeah, it would have to be somebody like that. Somebody that's a real threat as the number 2. A real threat. Yeah, and Roy Williams say, Brandon Cooks, can't we do better than that, boss? Yeah, I'm certain we could. The question is, will we? You know what I'm saying? And likely we won't, But then think about it. Just think about it. Brandon Cooks was with some wump quarterbacks. You put Brandon Cooks with Dak, that's different. That's totally different. It's totally. Remember, Cobb should have had almost 1,100 yards if it wouldn't have been for penalties. Oh, so you want to elaborate on that? Let me see if I can pull up that fact real quick. Give me a second. You can elaborate.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're talking about Randall Cobb, man, Randall Cobb had a resurgent year with the Cowboys a couple of years ago as a slot receiver, right? And so the reason for that comparison is that Brandon Cooks is a guy, and we showed tape on him a couple of days ago. He could do everything for you. He could play every receiver position. And the beautiful thing about him, to me, is his versatility in route running. And that really bodes well for especially the new offense on the West Coast offense, because you're going to have all your receivers at times run the same routes, but run the routes differently based upon the call. So he showed, based on the film, the ability to beat guys with short to intermediate routes with like stutter stepping a guy coming quickly outside, right? Making those catches. He's shown the hitches, right? He's shown the ability to contest the football in the end zone when in tight coverage. So I like receivers that really can show you they can win when it's a contested catch, right? And he's the guy that's tough and can come down with the football. So no, he wouldn't be bad here. He would be actually an upgrade, to be honest with you, especially in the slot.
And see, my boy Day Walker won. He played receiver. That's why he was one of the only few that understood when I was saying Noah Brown routes was Chris Carter-ish. Like a lot of people still low-key troll when I say that. But I wasn't saying they was the same player. I was saying just like Chris Carter wasn't fast, but won with very subtle moves and nuanced route running. That's how Noah Brown was getting open. Day Walker understands that because he was a receiver. And he said this about Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks gets separation at the top of the routes, and he can't take the top off the defense. Cook is nice, and I agree. As our number 2, that would be nice. That would be really good.
Matt, thank you for the $2 super chat. I'm good. Cook, he's quick. He's a quick, tough guy. He's a good fit. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I think Brandon Cook can make every play on the field from everything I've seen. He can win from any position. He can win on any route, and he comes down with contested catches. So I mean, that's to me, that's what I want to see, and he's doing a good job doing that.
In my opinion, when we come to receiver, listen, I know we want like to go to Neiman Marcus and we want Steve in the shop like that, but he don't. He don't. He does not. And then Coach Marv say Cook played for 4 teams. Yeah, he might be a little bit assertive. He might be the type of guy that speak his mind. And sometimes that rub coaches wrong, That's just what it is. But I will still take the talent, and you moved around 4 times. Some of that could be just luck. Sometimes you just, you didn't work here, or we needed to get assets there. You know, it don't necessarily
And
mean
then,
because you move 4 times that you're a back
Then
either.
JR with the 199 super chat. How's Cook's blocking in the run game? We showed a little bit of film on that. To me, I saw him being willing to block. I saw him being a willing blocker in the film that I saw. And I saw this kind of off the cuff besides with Boss Cowboy show. I thought he was a willing blocker from the film I saw. I don't have a lot of film on that, but from what I saw him being a adequate willing blocker. I mean, as good as, a receiver can block. I'll say that.
I got something. Well, listen, we already showed film on Cook. I'm not gonna show that
So
again.
one-handed bandit with a 199 super chat. Didn't Cook play with Watson or did he have D-Hop?
He had Watson, I think, for 1 year.
And then Lamont, aka Sherabonnet over Benja. Boss, watch Jackson Smith Rose Bowl before tomorrow's show if you haven't yet. The boy can flat out ball and would be very Dak friendly. Thank you for the super chat, Lamont. We appreciate you, man.
Man, I agree with that too. Yeah.
And then Matt back with the $5 super chat. Have faith. Big Mike, talk to him about that. He's a good coach. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Matt, for the $5 super chat, man.
Yeah, man, we appreciate that, man. And I do have faith in Big Mike. For real. I think we finna look amazing. We finna look amazing. All right, but now let's kind of get into our guys. All right, let's talk about this because we also talking about this from an exit interview because this whole series is about our guys. So I showed a couple of sleepers. We gonna have a draft show tomorrow about the receivers, but then we go dig heavy into corners as potentials. But before we do that, before we dig into corners, let's talk about our guys. So first we got Diggs, OC.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say this. Let's start with the top two guys because a lot of people misunderstand this. A lot of people say we need cornerback 2. No, we actually have cornerback 2. Cornerback 2 is Bland. Most people get that wrong. He is cornerback 2. So what happens is, and I'm gonna explain this a little bit. You have something called a base defense, all right? So in a base defense, that's where you have all your linebackers on the field. Your weak side, your strong side, and your middle. And when you have your base defense, you only have 2 corners on the field, and you usually use a base defense to counter a team that's getting ready to run the ball on you. Or they come out with a running personnel. So if they come out with 12 personnel, you go match that with a base defense. So if they come out with 2 tight ends, 1 running back, you go come out with only 2 corners. But if a team come out with 11 personnel, that's where you counter them with nickel, 3 corners. So the starting 2 corners in the base defense is Diggs and Bland. The real question is corner 3. I want to explain that first. All right.
Yep.
So with corner 3, that's the real question. That's what we're really dealing with. Now, let's start with the obvious big question. Do you bring Anthony Brown back? We'll slow down.
No.
Let you say no. Okay.
No. I think that, man, with that Achilles, man, and just his proclivity to get beat one-on-one over the top, I think that he may recover and play well, but I think it's just a risk, right? And I'm not hating on him at all. I just think, man, he's been a man with 9 lives. He's ran his course. He had that Achilles. That Achilles is a very hard injury to come back from, and it's like an ACL, but it's different because it's on your foot. And I know people that have torn their Achilles, man, and they don't never run the same. I'm not saying that he can't, but I'm saying to me he wasn't a burner, and I think he's going to need a little bit more time in this offseason to get back into form. And I don't think you play with that right now. I think you can go younger. I think you also have Israel in the building. You also have a guy that if you want to try to let him get some play time, you still have Joseph, a very talented guy, although he let you down with some disappointing play versus the Jags. I think it's just time, boss. That's what I think.
I would actually be cool with him coming back, but I would be cool with him coming back to play the nickel. I wouldn't want him coming back to be corner 2. Nope. I would want him for nickel packages, and then Remember we had, what was that little safety we had 2 years ago from Atlanta? I can't remember his name, bro.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I lost his name. I know who you're talking about though. I know who you're talking about.
He had an Achilles too. And it's one thing that I've been noticing a pattern on Dallas doctors. Don't count them dudes out, bro. Ooh, no. But in this draft class, me looking at this draft class,
Casey. It was Casey. It was Casey. By
yeah,
the
it
way.
was Casey. Thank you. It was Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey had an Achilles and had a miracle restoration when he came under Dallas.
Yeah.
And Anthony Brown has always been under Dallas's care. If he cheap enough, I'll take him back. But I don't want him to be the starter number 2 corner. I think Bland took that. I think that's gone. I think you move him in a slot. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. What you think of that, OC?
Yeah, man. I mean, Bland is your second best corner, and with another year of good play with more interceptions, he could be considered maybe your top corner, based upon how well he plays. I'm being honest because that's how well he plays.
Wait.
I'm telling you, yeah, boss. I'm telling you, with another great year of play, he's only a year behind Diggs. Okay, I'm saying he had a better rookie year than Diggs. No, listen.
That's true.
He had a much better rookie year.
This is wild.
He had a much better rookie year than he did.
Yes,
so okay, think about this. If Bland jumps the same way that Diggs jumped from his first year,
that's gonna happen. No way.
I'm saying we don't know for sure, but this is hypothetical because we're talking about ideals, okay?
Yeah, I'm listening.
The biggest jump for most players in the NFL is from year 1 to year 2.
Facts.
That's fact.
That is fact. That's facts.
So if he has half of it, okay, let me dumb it down. If he has half of the jump that Diggs had from his rookie year to his second year, he's a Pro Bowler.
Easily.
Am I lying?
No,
he's
easily. Yeah.
With 782.
Yeah.
And he's a better tackler. He's more physical than Diggs.
Yeah.
With equal ball skills. Wait!
Whoa! You're going too far, bro. You're going too far. It's starting to get disrespectful now, dog. It's starting to get disrespectful now. Wait a minute, bro. You going way too far, homie. Whoa! You said equal ball skills than ball guy?
Think carefully. I don't want you to take another L. Think carefully. Think carefully
Man,
about
I
when
ain't
the
taking
ball.
no L's. You still took that L.
No, think about. Okay, boss. Think about when the ball has been in the air around Bland. Just pause.
Man,
pause.
Man, please. Think about when the ball has been around Diggs. What is wrong with you, OC?
Diggs is snatching the ball out of the air, but Bland, if it is and Dajuan Walker agrees with me. He says, OC, right, boss. Now that's what your boy said, who plays receiver. Okay, I didn't play receiver.
I play corner, bro. Like, Lord have mercy.
Diggs dropped the last 2 picks, says Day Walker Bond. He's true. He's right on that. He dropped ball.
11 interceptions, bro. Do you know the last time that happened was Everson Walls?
I understand, but I'm telling you, he dropped 2 picks. How many would he have had when he did not? And I agree with JR. This is the most balanced comment. JR said this. They are not far off from each other, boss. I agree with that comment. I think it's close. And I'm not going to say better. If you want to say he's not equal, I'm fine. I ain't going to fight you on that. But I'm going to say he's close on ball skills. He's really good, man. He's really quick.
Both of them dudes are dogs when it comes to ball skills. I give you that.
Sticky hands. They got sticky hands.
And Bland caught some hard ones. It wasn't no straight in the stomach ones. He took the ball away a number of times. Where it was really the receiver's ball, and he just took it like a G.
Correct, ball. So come on now.
But
Diggs ain't taking.
Man,
Diggs is not taking the ball out of a dude's stomach, right? Now, if you misplace that ball, you overthrow that ball, You throw that ball and it's not running and receiving, he's in a zip code, then he go jump up and snatch it because he like a wide receiver, right? But I'm talking about from a defensive mentality of, man, you ran a quick slant on me, bro, and I drove and it hit your hands and I smashed it out of your hands and started running another way. Bro, come on now. Come on.
Well, I want to see this jump, bro. I want to see that because the jump.
You gotta look for the jump, bro.
The jump that Diggs had was a dope jump. If Bland has even, like you said, half the jump that Diggs had between year 1 and year 2, bro, this was a wasted show.
Yeah.
This was a wasted show, bro. We didn't have to talk about corner at all.
When you get Coach Marv to follow super chat, when you get safety position balls, hooker may be on the bubble to be cut. Speed is a big concern. I don't disagree with you, Coach Marv. William Blackwell with a $9.99 super chat. I'm with Boss. Bland just plays with more eye discipline to me and tackles better. Well, that says a lot.
Perfect.
That says a lot.
That's perfect.
That says a lot, William Blackwell. That says a lot because I want a guy to play with great discipline, eye discipline. I don't want to see you doing the do-si-do, doing a Texas two-step, spinning around and stuff like that when receivers make moves on you, like I saw Diggs do a couple times. I don't want to see that. So I like the discipline, and I definitely like the better tackling for sure. So, okay, I'll go with that too.
Y'all need to stop, man. Y'all pissing me off now. I love y'all, but y'all gonna show some respect for Boss Cowboy. Y'all gonna show some respect for the fact that I actually played this position. Yes, I'm pulling rank, damn it. Yes, I'm pulling rank on this. Cause see, y'all boys is tripping. We gotta have this conversation. It done got dirty up in here. I had to pull rank. So you gonna tell me that we didn't see Diggs assigned to the toughest receivers all year?
Man, I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you
that.
Oh,
hell no.
Cause that's the type of jump that we also need to see from Bland. See, cause can Bland handle Jefferson and then Chase? I don't know, bro. I gotta see that first, dog.
Finish him,
bruh. We said that he got to take the jump. We already acknowledged that. But neither did Diggs handle these number ones like that his rookie year. And the competition that he had versus ones overall, Bland handled it better than Diggs his first year. He just did. We already agree on that point. So what we're saying is we got to wait and see about the jump. We got to see about the jump and how he matures. How he matures, man.
We pretty sure he gonna be better though, because most corners between year 1 and year 2. Because think about that, Cowboy Nation. Ooh, we can almost guarantee that we gonna see a better Bland than we saw as a rookie.
Yeah.
Boy, that's scary. All right, let's make it interesting. Can we get messy a little bit?
Go ahead.
We talked about Anthony Brown because see, today we dealing with the exit interviews on the cornerback series. We started off teasing a little bit on that corner, showing a little bit of some of the content we're going to be providing as we get closer to the
Give
draft.
Me 2 minutes, boss. Give me 2 minutes.
Problem. So the OC had to walk away for a minute, so let me just catch everybody up what we doing. So every now and then, in between breaking news, rumors, and this and that, we go recap and talk about the exit of a particular group, right? We go talk about what this group is, how do they currently stand, what's their depth position, do we really need to be aggressive about trying to help that group out? We go talk about all of that. We go always also, because it's also the off season, we go talk about some potential free agents. We go also talk about where the room stands as is. So we go look at it from all different angles. We go even kind of sniff the coach and make sure that his smell is okay. So that's what we all doing today as an exercise. Hopefully everybody's enjoying this exercise. But what we doing with this exercise, we trying to get a full, well-rounded view and have an intelligent conversation about that unit. So as I'm waiting on the OC to get back, we obviously went through my sleepers, right? And guys that I like a lot, coming out of the draft. That's not the top names, but good names that I think could come in and compete very well. Then we went and it's fully explained that we do have our starting 2 corners. We do. We can relax with that. Then we threw a curveball in with Anthony Brown. You back, OC? You back? Okay, the OC not back yet. And so we did throw the curveball in there, and just to review, I'm open to him coming back at the right price, but not as corner 2. I think them days are over. I think he would be a superb nickel. Superb. And even playing the nickel, the good thing about Anthony Brown is even the vertical play and having a high point the ball, he likely won't be in those positions like he was. So he'll be able to do what he was doing best. And my final recap, as I'm just waiting on OC, is also the fact that we do a real good job of dealing with players coming off injury, which makes me trust that Anthony Brown could be restored. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this because the OC is taking too long to get back. I'm gonna talk about.
I'll be back in a second.
Oh, you can hear me. So since you can hear me, this is perfect. So the next curveball is Israel. That's a nice curveball, courtesy of Dan Quinn at the very end of the season. What is Israel? That's my question. Like, what is he?
I think that he is a hybrid, Boss Cowboy.
Right.
He is the ultimate hybrid. That's what he is, right? He's a guy that you can play in the slot. He's a guy that you can play at safety, in my humble opinion. He's a guy that gives you flexibility. He gives you that position flex that everybody talks about. And so, is he an elite corner good enough to play against starters? I don't know. I hadn't seen him enough. So I'm not going to rush to judgment on that. Right. But I do think he's at least almost equal, right, to what you had in the gentleman that we just spoke about, right? That Brown, in the sense that he is younger, he's equally potentially as talented, and you got a lot of youth. So you got to let him develop and explore what you have there. That's what I think.
I'm scared about Israel on the long speed. That would be my main concern on Israel, because I did scout Israel in college. The good thing about Israel is he does get his hands on the ball. He is exactly what Dan Quinn loves in terms of long and a knack for coming down with the ball. He'll come down with it. I saw him in college at South Carolina go against speedsters, and it was So that's why I'm asking, what is he? Is he a situational nickel, or is he somebody that you trust day in and day out, week in and week out as the nickel?
No, I think he's a situational nickel.
So can you trust a situational nickel?
I think you can trust a situational nickel, but I think you trust him better to develop long term into safety because of his length. But let me throw a wrench a little bit in what you're saying.
All right.
Dan Quinn is so genius. He mastered in Seattle how to coach longer, taller corners that didn't have excellent top speed. And to me, that was demonstrated in Richard Sherman.
True.
Richard Sherman did not have excellent top speed, but Richard Sherman was tall and long. So look at the model, look at the pedigree, okay? Tall, long defensive backs and quote-unquote potential hybrid safeties. Maybe all of them are not the fastest, but if you play with good technique and good leverage, that length can help you in coverage. JR with the $4.99 super chat. Israel is a tweener best used on big body receivers. Agreed. Great point, JR. I think there is a reason Dan Quinn used him in limited roles. Great point, JR. Thank you for the super chat.
And so with a limited role, that means we need to keep shopping. That's also what that means, right?
Yeah.
So, All right, let's keep shopping then. Yeah or nay? Jordan Lewis.
Yeah.
You want him back?
No,
No.
no, no. Just man, bro. I appreciate you, man. And I'm a Jordan Lewis fan. I just think it's just too many bodies in there that's younger and that got better upside than you. And I didn't see you play dynamically when you did play. I just think that, man, you a veteran corner. I don't think you're a bad player. I just think you got too many new bodies in the building. And I think your time is up. That's what I think.
Mm.
Hate to say it that way. It sounds so cold, but I'm just being honest on what I just see, man. I
No,
mean,
honesty
you
is
know,
necessary, bro. When Dallas Cowboys are first, we got to have these hard discussions. That's why we doing this series. You know what I mean? This is not easy stuff.
yeah,
Because Jordan Lewis is also one of my favorites. And let me say this. I felt like Jordan Lewis got a bad rap. He was done bad here. They gave Anthony Brown year in and year out opportunities. And I swear, when the days I used to hate Anthony Brown, he deserved it. He deserved it. He was not reliable nowhere. I hated the fact that we used to always bring him back. And I used to always think it was unfair for Jordan Lewis to always outball him. And then he used to always have to fight to try to get a job. I used to hate that. But Anthony Brown did get better. And he always had more speed. And you can see it. And when
but
he finally
he
got
something
better,
like-
it caught up to J-Lo. And
Yeah.
so, you know,
Well,
life
that's the
ain't
politics
fair,
of-
bro. Life ain't fair.
That's the politics. That's the politics of Dallas Cowboys sports, right?
Yep.
Because the Dallas Cowboys sports, because of the fact that, man, it was political with J. Lou.
It was.
It wasn't talent.
It was
He had
political.
talent. It was a political situation, and who played the politics better is the dude that got the most chances, and that was Brown. So that's Coach Mark with a $2 super chat. With CBs without top end speed, you need a fast, free safety. Yeah, and that taking me back, Coach, to reminding you about the Dan Quinn model. I call it the Dan Quinn model. I don't think anybody said that. So what he did have, he had solid corners, right? And he had a very, very fast free safety, right? Who was that? It was Earl Thomas.
Yep.
And then he had that fast and physical safety. Then he had an enforcer, right? Like a Wilson, that was a Cam Chancellor that was a safety, but primarily played down in the box, and that was his strength, right? So I think he's trying to build the similar model of the Legion of Boom. And I think that he's close. I think he's close.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing. You're right. We do need to talk about Hooker, and we was talking about Hooker during the season. I'm gonna tell you right now, we was never shying away from Hooker lacking the range to play free. He always had a problem with that range. We always was saying that. It was always clear. And let me be honest. Can I be honest? The solution for a range of free was always there. We just wasn't doing it. Donovan Wilson always showed range when he was back there. And a lot of people don't know this, but in the early Donovan Wilson days, he played more free than strong. What they really need to do if they want to keep Hooker, and if they kept Donovan Wilson, they need to have Donovan Wilson playing more free, and they need to have Malik Hooker down in that box. Because Malik Hooker will go down there and bang you. He will. And you ain't got to worry about his long speed as much as a box safety.
I'm gonna throw another caveat in here. I think that when they had him at free this year, he looked okay, boss. I don't think Malik Hooker is really a good free.
That's
Because I don't think
he
he has
thing. We saying the same
Yeah,
thing.
he don't have the ball skills. Now, who you really should have
He
gave
ain't
a
got the
little
what?
bit. I don't think he has the ball skills.
Wait.
Not Hooker.
Oh.
I mean, what's his name? Not Hooker.
Oh.
Wilson. I apologize. Wilson.
Donovan Wilson
Okay.
ain't got the ball skills?
I don't think he got good ball skills, boss. I think that he ain't like coming down like he don't look like he that guy to me. I'm gonna tell you who I think could be that guy, and this you may disagree with this. Let me just tell you though, who I think could be that guy. JR with the 109 super chat. Wilson first game versus 49ers showed you his range. All right, thank you, JR with the 199 super chat. This is who I would have liked to see them do more, and you will agree with this, okay? I think a dude that would have tore it up and been like a hybrid freak playing free safety. You know who?
I'm waiting.
You already know.
No, because so far you kind of got me aggravated, but I'm giving you a chance.
Cox, dude. Cox, bro. He got range, bro. He can cover. He got great ball skills. He's a solid tackler. He improved on his tackling since he's been in the league, bro. Man, I would love to see them just play with that, bro. I would love to see them just play with that. Just play with it for a couple games, man. That big old dude back there, and he has a knack for the ball, too. He has a knack for the football. Go ahead.
No, I actually agree with you on that. I do.
Okay.
I mean, there's no way you can look at, in my opinion, Cox in college and not have no vision of him being able to be a nut at either safety.
Oh, put him back there.
Nut.
Yeah.
Instead of just having him rot on the bench. Because that's what some of us want. Oh, keep him at linebacker, boss. Okay, you want him to rot. You want him to die on the bench. That's what you want. You want to go through a whole nother year of them trying to figure out when he go play. Or why don't you put him where he is like a fish in water?
Yes. Yep.
Because yes, it is a such thing as certain guys. There is a such thing out of the whole cornerback safety class. It's only about 2 corners that literally can play safety. That's a rare skill. That's a rare skill for you to be a Woodson. When you a Woodson, they don't come around that much. And when you have them, you use them.
Bro, William Blackwell with the $9.99 super chat. Facts, y'all. Remember, he hit Daniel Jones, got up and did the Ric Flair.
Bro, yeah. Hey, and listen, y'all. I talked to Cox. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I talked to Cox.
Yeah.
Cox wanna play the big nickel. You know what Cox wanna be to the Dallas Cowboys? Curse. And it makes sense. It makes sense. He wanna be the curse for the Dallas Cowboys, but we lack. And see, this is what get on my nerves about Cowboy Nation. We are okay with taking a safety and putting them down there to play linebacker. Right? And then we watching Curse get broken up every week because he got the mentality for the linebacker, but he ain't got the frame. But if you put Cox back there, he got the mentality and the frame. So
I'm gonna say something else because I seen him do this in college, and people don't even get this. Cox could D up a receiver, bro, 1-on-1.
He could.
He could D up a receiver, bro. Certain receivers, bro, he could D you up 1-on-1. ISO, bro. He did it versus Mississippi State. He did it versus Arkansas down the field. They tried him. Threw the ball deep, pass breakup. Threw the ball deep, cover. Like, nah, bro, he's a unique specimen, dude, in terms of his ability, man. I just think we got to explore that, man. We need to really explore that and get the best out of it. And it's just sad that we hadn't yet. But hopefully Dan Quinn got something cooking for him this coming year. So we'll see.
And then this is a good thought by Star. She said, boss, we need to have a discussion between Dan Quinn, one Curse, Dono, and Hook on the field at the same time. We do. The only pass that I would give Dan Quinn is once I figured out that he was doing some experimentation, it's almost hard to judge him because we know he does that. And he was doing that preparing for when it counted, and that was in the playoffs. And when we was in the playoffs, we really had no concern about Dan Quinn. So that's what makes Dan Quinn hard to read. How much of this is him being how much of some of the stuff that we see that make us scratch our head where he's in mad scientist experimental mode, or when he's in actually scheme mode?
Well, we go see his exact sentiments, and unfortunately, guys, we got to wait until July, man. So, I mean, man, we got a solid 5 months before we see what's going on with Jabril Cox. And so once we see what's going on, man, we'll be able to pick up on it pretty quick. Within the first couple of weeks of training camp, Kevin McDonald with a $5 super chat. There's so much untapped potential already on the roster.
Facts.
That is actually very true. Very true, Kevin. Extremely true. And listen, Jabril Cox is just is one of those guys, man, that has untapped potential. And we got the benefit, and I know we're talking about corners and stuff. We got the benefit, man, of another guy I'm just super excited about, man. I really want to see the progression with Clark. We'll talk more about him later, but I want to see his progression. I want to see his jump at the linebacker position, running sideline to sideline. That's going to be awesome. UCasts are at the top of the influencer game, but these recent takes are out of left field. Yeah, Steve, we disagree with you, Steve, because we watch tape on these players before they come in the NFL, Steve. And the issue is that we've seen evidence, overwhelming evidence, that these guys can do multiple things that they haven't done yet. So give me your points of reference if you make that statement. We're cool with the comment, man. Thank you, and your voice does matter. But give me your point of reference about
be specific.
Out of left field. Yeah, give me your point of reference. JR with the 49 chat. Any of our free agents you have to keep, or would you replace them all in the draft? I think you keep some and you get rid of some others. That's what I think, JR. We're going to talk more about that. But, Boss, what's your take on that?
Well, because, see, and this is why people, in my opinion, should respect this channel, because we not afraid to say things that other people would think is left field. See, a lot of people are afraid to say things like what we say because they know it's not popular. See, we were saying that Steele was better when it was very unpopular. Very unpopular. And we were sitting there holding our balls saying it. We were, looking you dead in your face and saying, if you think different, you stupid. That's how we was. We was just flat-footed about that, But we was being called left field. But now what they saying, Steele, pay him now. I've always been for paying Steele. I always thought yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, all right. So now what it is, OC right. And then all you go, okay, Steve, I would ask you and anybody else to do this. Go look at PFF when he was in college and see what percentage of snaps was he at the nickel, where he was covering. So when you see, Steve, that a majority of his college snaps was playing nickel, covering, is that left field to say he could cover in the league? When we saw him covering in the slot? No, it's not left field. We saw it. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, take my word when I tell you, I talked to him. I saw the look in me and Law was sitting there talking to him. And I just told him straight up. I say, bro, because you know me, I'm going to be bold with it. I say, bro, you playing big nickel, dog. I say, I think they got you out of position. They got you labeled as middle. It don't make no sense to me that you playing middle. You need to be a big nickel. He lit up. He say, bro, that's what I'm saying. And I was like, he say, bro, I would rock that nickel. I said, I know. So we talking to the source saying what we saying, but we in left field. I really don't think we in left field, dog. Just being honest.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you a couple more things, man. And this is just because we like to show receipts on our channel. On this channel, we always prove our work. I'll give you a smaller one. Before this season, a lot of people was telling us that, man, we should get rid of Tyler Biadasz. I said, no, he's going to bounce back with a really good year. I said, because that was like his real rookie year because he had a lot of injuries. I said, he's going to get stronger and he's going to be better. I think he's going to be all right. Another one, when everybody just slapped us across our face, especially the OC, when I talked about that Tyler Smith was going to be fine, he was going to be a good pickup, then, hey, man, we saw how that played out. William Blackwell with the 99 Super Chat. In fact, Jabril considered to be the best cover linebacker in the draft, and it was said we got the Steelers draft. That is very true, William Blackwell. Stephen with the 499 Super Chat. Disagreements aren't disrespectful, just an informed debate on 18 we all love. All good, fellas. Yeah, man.
Oh, and yeah. We didn't take it as disrespect. We didn't take it as disrespect. No.
Yeah.
Because we know you, Steve. We know you don't come like that. That's why y'all know me. If I feel like you being disrespectful, y'all already know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and see, we love you, man. We appreciate the support on the channel too, and man, but we always have open air debates. And just so you guys know, and everybody that might be new to the channel, like we have open air debates, and we not mad when we talking. No. We might sound like we mad, but we just talking, right?
Yeah,
so we disagree with each other. Me and Boss Cowboy, we disagree with each other, and we talk to each other just like we talk to y'all on the chat.
Yeah.
So that's the culture of the channel. It's no offense. We all good, Steve, man. We appreciate you, bro.
All good, man. We appreciate you, Steve. You've been a day one, bro. We ain't got no problem with you. And you see, that's what people got to realize. It's the difference between disagreeing, even saying left field. It was nothing wrong with that, because see, that's his opinion. So it was up to us to show. Actually, we not. You know what I mean? And just talk it out. No, we got love for you, bro. We got much love for you. I'm trying to go to that video because I'm trying to show this receipt, because I got the receipt to where we was talking about that Tyler was gonna bounce back. And that was unpopular, bro. That was very unpopular for people, because everybody, we need to go Tyler Lindenbaum, and me and you was like, no, bro, don't waste that pick. No, don't do that. We was like, no, bro, please don't do that. We was probably one of the only few in the whole Cowboy Nation like, please don't waste that pick. I'm finna find this receipt.
See, Stargazer Sports being messy. She said, "Curse or Cox?" Question mark. So I'm gonna tell you what I really think, okay? And I might be the first one to say this. I say if Cox needs healthy, Cox. If Cox needs healthy, Cox, because he gives you a more solid body in the tackling game if you want to put him down in the box, and he gives you much better coverage ability. So I think the upside is greater. Although Curse has done a great job, I would say Cox, man. I would say Cox.
Ooh, but Star was been messy with that one. Star, you messy for that.
I'll say Cox. To answer your question, I'm gonna say Cox.
Yeah, and see, I got it right here, bro. I got the receipt. I got the whole receipt right here. Yep. And where we went into it. Y'all go check back and see what we said if y'all think we lying. I'm gonna show y'all. And the whole world was against Tyler Biadasz. Watch this. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna show y'all. It's right here. Here's the receipt.
John Jones, the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
It's this middle video right here where we talked about correcting center to create the best 5 linemen for the Dallas Cowboys. And when you click on that, you gonna hear me and the OC pretty much by ourselves, standing alone. And this was from a year ago. And we know a year ago, around this time, everybody was high on Lindenbaum. And we was like, no. No. So this is the video. If y'all want to go see, you know, was we on left field or not? We actually wasn't. So we got a reputation of telling you the truth even when it's not popular. Like,
yeah,
like
to our own pain. To our own pain,
because it is.
It's true, because listen,
it's true.
Look, in this YouTube game, in this, you know, podcast game, man, most people grow by just posting what's popular and what's trending at the time, and we do that too. But at the same time, we post a lot of stuff, man, that we believe is true when nobody agrees and nobody's even searching it, guys. And so, you know, it is what it is. But we stand on our two, and we decided, you know, collectively, man, that we gonna operate this channel in a certain way. And so we've been committed to that, and we've took the good with the bad because of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's facts. All right, so getting back into the mess. Let's stay with the mess, dog.
Yeah, this is a tough one, man. And really it's a tough one, but it's not a tough one. It's a tough one in the sense that Joseph did some of this to himself. Right. You know?
Yeah.
He got opportunity, man. He got VIP opportunity to win. He got opportunity to beat out Bland for the second corner in that Jacksonville game. You know, straight up, man. Boss, I'm still waiting on my wrench. LOL. Michael Lockhart with the $5.
You ain't got a wrench?
No. That's Michael Lockhart. He said he's still waiting on his wrench.
Okay, hold on, Mike.
So Mike said that. Yeah, so you know the thing is, this guy has 4.3 speed. This guy, you can just look at him.
4.2 speed.
Yeah, I mean, okay, 4.2 speed. I'm gonna give him low 4.3, but I'm gonna say okay, 4.2 if you want to go there. Cool. But I'm gonna say this, man.
Speed.
Yeah, big, fast, athletic, but just don't make good decisions.
Yeah.
And that's on the football field, bro. Some on the off the field, but some on the field. And I just hope that he can just master the art of the professionalism that the Cowboys want to see. Okay, I am not saying there's nothing wrong with his hobbies or nothing wrong with his life. I'm saying master the professionalism that your organization wants to see. Because I'm a fan of you, man, and I want to see you on the field because I see the talent, I see the raw ability. Anybody that knows football can look at you and see the raw physical ability. But man, you got to show the mental discipline, man, to be on that team. And the only question is, and we got to wait until July, we got to wait 5 more months to see this, have they given up on you yet? Because if they haven't given up on you, This is your last chance. This coming training camp. And so that's what I think, man. I mean, I would love to see you, man, but man, it's tough, man, because of some of the decisions, man. You know?
This was weird, man. This whole thing was weird. The whole thing at the end, like Dan Quinn, that last 4 weeks, he threw me all the way off. I ain't gonna even lie. All these musical chairs, you coming out there, you got Kelvin Joseph, then you had Nashawn Wright. Nashawn Wright did not play bad. And then he come out there and he say, okay, for the last 4 weeks we've been experimenting, and now we know how we going into the game with Tampa. Most of us was like, oh, okay, he likely finna start Nashawn Wright because Nashawn Wright played actually pretty good. Hey, that makes sense. Or he go give Kelvin Joseph another chance, and then Dan Quinn just come out Israel. Oh, what? And so
I'm gonna be even messier in a minute. Be even messier. I'll let you finish.
And then Stargazer, she really listen, we gonna have to do a whole show on safety. And when we do that show on safety, Star, we gonna have to talk about that, because Star is really, she bent on that safety. We gonna get on that safety. she trying to get that problem solved today. Like, Star, we might need to get that solved where we have a safety show. So listen, we doing this on all the rooms though. So today, remember, we started with front office and the leadership. Now we on corner. We gonna take safety, offensive line, linebacker, quarterback. We gonna talk about all of these. So throughout this off season, we go always have a show in between breaking news, draft content, to where we go really break down a room. So this is corner room today, and start say, okay.
Yeah, man. And then they walk by, man, said something interesting. Kelvin Joseph, free safety 2023.
That's a good one. Ooh.
Because he played safety before. He played safety
He did.
at Kentucky.
He
can play the position. Coach Marv with the $5 super chat. All Boss Man Fat needs is a clean football focused offseason. No more off-field focused problems. Football has to be number one. 2,000% agree, Coach Marv. And I hope he does that, man, for his own good, man. Because I really want to see him successful.
He gonna drop two mixtapes, bro.
He got to focus, man. He got to focus.
He not, bro. He gonna come out with 2 mixtapes, dog. I'm telling you, it's gonna.
See, if he do that, bro, he ain't serious, and they gonna be like, man, this kid don't want football. Like, that's what he's communicating in their mind. And I'm not saying that he don't want football, but to them, that's how they judge it. That's how they judge it. They judge it like, man, you don't want football. He needs to be a company man. You look,
not even that. He ain't got to be no company. He just got to be low key. Just be low key, dog.
No, listen. I'm gonna tell you how you get the 9 lives, bro. Forget all that, boss. I'm gonna tell the man how to get the 9 lives, like our guy that we trying to get rid of now. Okay, that tore his Achilles, bro. Show up before the OTAs. Okay, be in there lifting weights. Talk to the strength coach. So when they see you down there working out, you running, you sweating a little bit, you ain't got to do it every day, bro. Just do it like 3 days a week, right? Before you got to show up, right? Show up before everybody else. Oh, Kelvin has turned over a new leaf. This guy is working hard. We see him down there. He's running sprints. This guy, yeah, that's what you want him to do. Yeah, you want him to see that. That's what you want to give him. Then when you get to the OTS, hey, have you seen Kelvin? He's down there, man. He's just working out, man. He seems so focused, man. Keep your hair cut low, bro. Don't grow your hair out. Get like a normal fade, because it's more corporate, okay?
They won't.
And just no. Listen, I'm just telling you, bro. Be pretty much clean shaved. Just have your mustache, and then be down there working out before everybody else, bro. And if you do, bro, you go get that chance, bro, and then you get a chance to be on that field. I'm just telling you, that's what you got to do.
So let's talk about it for real too, because I know you for real, but I'm gonna add to it. If you Kelvin Joseph and you trying to get your bag off the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys, you gotta really do play the politic game. You really do. You got a family. I met him and his lady and his kid. Like, we shouldn't see if you trying to do PR image repair. Cause see, the Cowboys will get rid of you because of image. You could be the best player, but they'll get rid of you because you ain't the image that mixes with their brand. That's true. So you got to give them a new image. You got to show them with your family, holding your baby, Christmas pictures. Yeah, you got to do that, like the hood life and hood videos and all that kind of stuff, and photo ops and with the homies. And now, bro, not if you trying to get the bag. And a real homie go tell you, bro, get the bag, bro. Like for real, play the game. Like, it ain't nothing fake about that. That's real. You actually being real when you put on a face that get you paid. Like, we all know Dak is a real dude. He a real dude. Like, when you meet Dak and his brothers and his dad, they real people. They like straight up. But in front of them cameras, they button up. They gonna say the right thing. But what keep rolling them into them accounts is M's. Millions. Boy, you better play the game, boy. What's wrong with you? Play the game, big dog. That is the game. That's real life, man. And don't let none of these homeboys have you out here like being with them is real. No, I will leave all you street dudes for my family and my millions. Goodbye. For real.
Don't go to the club on the south side, bro. Do not go to no clubs on the south side, bro.
Man,
go to
church,
bro.
Go
and
chill.
Church and lounges. Go to like cool places like lounges. Just get some appetizers. You got for a minute. You know, go
lounges. Right.
You just keep it chill, bro.
Chill.
Don't be don't turning it up and pop. You know, stop doing that.
Stop.
Just for real. Stop.
Just
for real.
All right, here we go. All right, let's talk about this, and we almost out of here, man. Matter of fact, we ain't take no calls. Before we talk about Nashawn Wright, let's take some calls, man. I want to take a couple of calls. We said we was gonna freestyle today. We gonna open it up, and then we gonna talk about Nashawn. All right, so we gonna put the call. Hold on real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. I ain't got the phone set up. Don't start calling yet. Y'all give me 1 second. I should have set up the phones first, y'all. Y'all know how it is, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. We'll get them on the next show, boss, if you ain't got to set up, man.
It's set up right now. It's set up.
Okay.
Yeah, and this ain't gonna take that long. I just wanna, cause we did promise on the thumbnail freestyle, so let me get a freestyle in here. So we got the phone lines open, 210-940-9064. So y'all call on in, and we'll get a freestyle with you real quick. And if y'all don't, we go talk about Nashawn Wright and get out of here, man. But all right, so there it is. Boss Cowboy Sports.
What's going on, fellas? Hey, man, it's Coach Mar, man.
Hey, Coach.
Check this out. I got a comment very quick to say about Boss Man Fat. If I'm the Cowboys organization, if I see one thing this offseason is just not football first, I'm cutting you right on the spot. Because I don't need that type of mentality after all you have been through and we have stuck with you to bleed into this young football team. Now, you gotta understand as a young man what you almost lost in total by being in that situation, and you got through that and you had a rough season. And they still gonna stick with you to get yourself better, you either gotta go all in or you gotta go. And I'm not even gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait. We're not gonna be no pushing around and trying with it. I'm moving on. So that's where you have to be, and it's just like that, man. And I know y'all spoke with the cornerback thing. I just think our corners, man, will be greatly helped with a fast, rangy free safety. We got no interceptions over the top this year. We've never gotten any interception from our free safeties down the field, and that is very uncommon. And that we need a playmaker free safety. I think Hooker was a playmaker free safety, but his leg was gone. I just don't think he got the speed no more. So, just wanted to say those things right quick, fellas. I know y'all gonna have some more calls y'all get, but great content as always, boss. And man, you gotta give me my wrench, man.
I ain't give you a wrench, Coach.
No.
All right, I'm doing it now. I just did it.
All right, man.
All right, I just did
Y'all
it, man.
tell me, bro.
All right, you too, coach. God, dog. That's embarrassing. All right, but yeah, no, and we go do a whole show on safeties, and we go cover all of that. You know what I mean? And coach is right, and coach is definitely in his team building mode to really talk about how to help out these corners with a range of safety. You got any more thoughts on what he said?
No, man, I think that you want athletic playmakers. That's what you want. You want the best possible athletic playmakers. First, explore the people in your building to see if they got what it takes. And if they wash out or have off-field problems, then you got to move on. And I think that this is a year that, A, you figure out what you got in Israel, what you fully have in Deshaun Wright, what you have in Kelvin Joseph, and what you have in Jabril Cox. That's what I think. And you mentioned that Israel is a situational player, but maybe Israel played in the playoffs because they thought that Deshaun Wright may be more of a situational player than him. That's just another thought. So we got to see how these guys really wash out in their full potential, man, because you got some athletic young guys, man, that can make some plays. And if you add another piece, I just think you need another piece. You need a piece in the secondary, you need a piece at linebacker, you need a piece on that defensive line in some type of way. If you can do that on the defensive side, you're going to be in really good shape. That's what I think.
So Deshaun Wright. I think Deshaun Wright was done bad, just to be all the way honest.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on. I think he's kind of floating on. We're gonna take one more call real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
You got me in the background. Cut me off in the background. I can hear us in the background. This Boss Cowboy Sports.
Yeah, you got to cut down the background.
Hey, you got me in the background.
You win the battle of who picks the best battle.
Hey, bro, I'm sorry. Your phone not coming through clear.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I gotta hang up. I had to hang up. I'm sorry, bro. Your phone. I don't know what was going on, but could you hear that, OC? Because I couldn't really hear it.
No, it seemed like he had a song in his background and it was double sound coming through. Like if you call in, you got to cut the show off and just talk to us on the phone. Yeah, because like mute the show is what I'm saying. Because we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you.
All right, so I'm gonna put the phone line in here real quick and then pin it. Cause Star says she wanna call me in. All right, so
Yeah, come on, Star. You gonna be our last call.
yeah, you go about last call because we got to get up out of here. All right, so we got the number pinned up. So just go ahead and call on in. You about to go, cause you know OC ready to go. Me too. And we got us a big draft show tomorrow. I got to get ready for that, y'all. So I'm gonna be up all night on them. So I just put the I start call on in. All right, so here we go. Cause if we start talking about Deshaun, I'm not gonna pick up. I'm telling you right now. You got there it is. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, what's up, Boss Star?
What's up, Star? What you got?
I wanted to ask a question. Do you, and say hi to OC, I don't know, I know he can hear me, but I don't think I can hear him reply, but I wanted to ask a question. Do you think that we have an issue on our defensive side of the football of pet cats and favorites as well?
Ooh.
And I asked this question because everybody wanted to know why George Edwards got fired, because they were saying, well, you know, look, he did a good job with the linebackers. Obviously, he was a big part of Micah's growth as a linebacker. But one of the biggest issues that I saw with George Edwards is him consistently, week in and week off, having Anthony Barr play over Cox. And then also in playoffs, it was over Clark as well, because Clark didn't really even sniff the field in playoffs. And so that was a little bit alarming to me, not even to have Jabril Cox active most games, but having Barr on the field when we knew that Barr just wasn't it. I think he had some games where he did decently, but for the most part, it just was not good from his play. Well, from my perspective, I don't know if you or OC agree with that, but and then also the issue that I brought up regarding we have to talk about Curse versus Cox, because I believe Curse is Dan Quinn's guy. But we know front office wants the draft picks to play. Like, that's all Steven ever talks about. And even Mike said that's a huge emphasis on team building, is that they have to groom and develop the young guys. But yet we kept seeing all throughout the season Curse and Dono and Hooker on the field, even though our young guys, like Cox and stuff, wasn't getting any ticks. So that's pretty much the only question I wanted to pose to you and OC. I got to go, but thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Star.
All right, salute, Star. Appreciate it.
Good, concise question. Good.
Is there any pet cat? I'm going to take a stab at it first. At the end of the day, it's pet cats all over the organization, to be honest. I think that the Anthony Barr situation was a situation where you expected to get productivity and help at linebacker, because early in the season you had Damone Clark being injured, and you didn't really have great play from LVE until later in the season, where he really picked it up when Clark came back, in my opinion. So I think that Anthony Barr was more of a need versus a pet cat. I think that Jonathan Hankins signing was more of a need than a pet cat situation, because you did not get the productivity that you needed out of Gallimore and out of Bohanna by himself to really solidify that secondary. And Golston played better later in the season on the defensive line. You didn't get that type of productivity at the beginning of the year when you were getting gashed and zone ran to death inside. You know what I'm saying? So you needed Hankins. Now, the secondary is a unique situation because you had a lot of depth. You had some free agent signings that Malik Hooker is a guy that you had back there. You had Curse, who played well, who deserved to start, okay? He deserved to start, and Hooker played well enough to start as well, right? And then you had these young draft picks. You had Israel, you had Deshaun Wright, you had Kelvin Joseph, you had Deron Bland, you had Cox on the outside looking in. So you had a lot of depth on that secondary where you had to rotate these players and figure out what's what. I think that Cox got the short end of the stick. I think that Deshaun Wright may have got the short end of the stick, but I think it was more so of a preference in who you trust at this time. So that's my take on it. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, and Dan Quinn doesn't strike me as a pet cat type. I see too much respect in the defensive room. If anything, those guys made decisions and hard decisions and paid for it. So like Edwards, right? We wouldn't have Curse if it wasn't for Edwards. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have him. And if you really believe like Curse is your best foot forward, then you go with it. On that gamble, he was right. He then gambled on Anthony Barr. We did need linebacker. But then you trying to answer the call, so you pound the table for a guy that's supposed to be a difference maker. He's not the difference maker. He plays good in the playoffs, but throughout the season, he wasn't good. He was a step slower than he was the year before. He fell off 1 year too late. Okay. And likely Edwards, they pointed to him. Another thing was Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes is another guy that was from Minnesota that came in this building. He played one game. So likely, if I don't know, because I wasn't a fly on the wall, but my instincts is telling me that heads had the role, and they chose his head to roll for reasons that probably wasn't even his fault. Because he wasn't working with the best room, and they didn't even do him right. Because Dan Quinn himself was trying to get what's the guy that went to the Rams? Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
So when I say I want Nike and then you give me Reeboks, don't be mad when I tell you my feet hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
They do make it.
See, me and the OC had to play in Reeboks. We telling coaches, hey coach, we need Nikes. We need Nikes. You know what I mean? Am I lying, OC?
Mm-hmm.
All the shoes that we wore in college hurt. people getting injured, people having out. But we told y'all we want Nikes. We play better in Nikes. You know what I mean? Oh, but they was thinking about we get up more money from Reebok at U of H at the time. Okay, well, you go get that Reebok type play too. So I think some of that spilled on the defense. But I just see too much respect amongst too many of them guys. You know what I mean? To think that it's major politics, if any, on the defensive side. You know? Yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. So, real quick, the last person we got to deal with is the leader of the cornerback room. The guy, the captain. What's your thoughts on him, man, as we get ready to kind of end this?
Yeah. I'm gonna be real quick about Al Harris. I think that I think he's okay. I think he can do better.
Hold on, real quick. My boy Steve White say same shoe. No, Reebok and Nikes are way different.
Yeah, they made different, man. But we ain't gonna get into all that. The cushioning, the support, man, how they made it's different, man.
It's way different.
Because we may end up getting endorsed by Reebok. I ain't gonna bash Reebok, but in terms of a cleat and what we had in college, yeah, it's different. I'm more both, bro. I'm more both. It's different, man. It's a different feel. It's a different. Maybe from then to now. You know, the cleat is much better, but for me, that was my feet, bro.
No, bro. And I put it like this. When I used to wear Nikes, we used to be able to put Nikes on with no socks. And we would go play. No tape, no nothing. We would just lace up the Nikes and go. And see, you know, that was a style then to play with no socks. You know what I mean? To be showing them calves, you out there looking hard. But man, boy, you put them Adidas and them Reeboks on, ooh, you be having turf toe, ankles would be breaking, man. So many people broke ankles in Reeboks and Adidas. No, it's different. Now, if you wearing them for comfort, if you just walking around the house, okay, they ain't no different. But hard stopping, the OC having the anchor down as an offensive lineman, he using everything, including his shoes. No, they was different, bro.
Different. So I used to slip a lot, but yeah. Anyway, you know, on Al here, I think that Al is okay. I think that, you know, I'm not convinced that he is the best developer of young corners. And because I think that he knows the game, he played the game at a high level. He was bump and run to death in Green Bay. Bump and run, baby. He knew that bump and run. And that's what really surprised me, because I didn't see anybody really play the bump and run style. I didn't see us really jamming corners. I saw us giving free releases inside, and I'm going to attribute some of that to him. So I'm going to say he's okay. I think he knows the game, but I think he needs to be better at developing the corners and their techniques and in terms of their discipline. And that's what I think about him.
Yeah, to me, I think me looking at him on the outside, I think he coaches technique pretty good. But what I saw a lot of was a lot of bad eye discipline. A lot of bad eye discipline. And it wasn't even just Kelvin Joseph, because a lot of people made Kelvin Joseph the whipping boy. It was a whole lot of people had bad eyes. You know what I mean? Where they was looking back at the quarterback when he was throwing the ball, which was causing separation. And that's usually a direct result of your coach not really establishing great discipline in the cornerback room.
Technique, bro, and not drilling the eyes and where your eyes should be. And that's why I say he's okay, because I think he should have developed these guys a little bit better, especially guys like Joseph. Especially even guys, you know what I'm saying, that didn't play till late in the season like Israel. I think that the mark of a good coach is the ability to take a player from A to B to C. And I think you want to develop these guys and make them grow. And especially your guys that are like talented physically, right? They're talented physically. You got to develop them. And I think that he didn't hold even I'm just be honest, on some things with at the end of the year in particular, even with Diggs, hold them accountable, right? And make sure, man, you're playing the way, son, technique that you need to be playing, right? And if you are getting spun around 360, you know, bad eyes, playing bad consecutive weeks, then it's because I'm too much of a friend to you, and I'm not a disciplinary and a guy that's gonna hold you accountable. Hey man, you gotta tighten up, bro. We good, we cool, but no, I don't care. We ain't friends like that. You need to tighten up,
Right.
type of deal.
That's what
and that's the nature of the beast.
So just real quick before we get out of here, we go ask y'all a question. First of all, we want y'all to grade the cornerback room all together. What's the grade that you would give the cornerback room? As a unit, I give the room A-. Mainly because of the top two guys, Diggs and Bland. And I do like the massive amount of depth that we have. Even if we lose Anthony Brown and even if we lose Jordan Lewis. I like the fact that we got Israel, Kelvin Joseph, and Deshaun Wright as corner 3 options. So, and to me, a lot of them still developing. Deshaun is still developing. Kevin still developing. That's saying upside to me. I'm going to say A-. And I'm seeing y'all grades. Most people giving it B's. I see a C, but most people so far giving it B's, B pluses. What's your grade, OC?
Yeah, I think, man, overall the room itself is probably a B-, and it's a B- because you're not optimizing the talent that you have, and that's part is on the coach, which is why I say it's okay, because I think they could be better. I think they could be way better, to be honest. So that's just me.
So my next question, as we finish in the exit review of the cornerbacks and looking at it, what is the draft need? Would y'all say is high, medium, or low for corner? So
yeah, I got to tap out in a minute, boss. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a medium need.
Me too. Medium. So basically, we look at round 3, round 4.
Yeah, it's a medium need. You look up a value, but if you can add speed and explosion on the value pick, do it.
So before we get out of here, my last question is, and while we doing this last question, y'all make sure y'all hit that like. Yeah, I see it, and most people saying low to medium mid need. Now, ain't that crazy? Like most of us saying low, medium, or a mid, but going into the playoffs, they weren't saying that was their OC. Everybody was, ooh, we gonna lose because of quarter 2. Ooh. Isn't that funny, man? Isn't that funny? So, but I'm glad we all agree. I see it like y'all see the medium need. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like before we get out of here. Now the last question. The captain of the room, what would you grade him? What would you grade the person that's in charge of that whole room as an exit interview before we get out of here, OC?
I'm gonna give him a C. I'll give him a C+. I'll give him a C+.
I'm gonna give Al Harris a B+. I think the things he got to work on is little. Eye discipline, you can correct that, and also I think he needs to really make sure that they work on tracking the ball and high parting the ball when it's deep balls. I think if you do that, work on the eye discipline, you turn this whole corner room elite, like with those two things. So anyway, man, go ahead and close us out, OC.
Yeah, man. So listen, thanks for the support, everybody. Thanks for the super chats. We appreciate you, man. Thanks all of you guys that put money into the Cash App, $ Boss Cowboy Sports. We really appreciate it. It helps you guys, helps us guys to grow the channel. And just, man, thanks for rocking with us. Come back. We'll be back tomorrow. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, if you please. Don't forget to hit the like button as you guys are going out of the show. All right. So we'll see you next time. And peace.
Peace out, man. Y'all make sure y'all come back tomorrow. Draft show tomorrow. So we got a full team. It's going to be dope. Yeah, we going to be bringing y'all another one, man. I can't wait.
Another one. Cowboy Sports. Where your voice matters.
Run it up.
Let's go.
Another one.
If we locked in, switching up.
Draft show tomorrow, man. Y'all come back. It's gonna be the debut of the Final Word draft show.
Run it up.
Let's go.
Another one.
Come on. Let's go. It's going down.
Run it up.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.